Have you ever felt like you're going nowhere in life? Like you had this reality and projection of what your life was going to be right now, but in reality, you're not there? If that's the case, well, let me tell you. You can choose to take steps to enter the most successful decade of your life. And I'm going to show you how. As usual, this video will be broken down into various video chapters for your ease and convenience. All right, so get your pencil and paper ready, a cute drink, and let's get right into the video. What are you guys having today? I'm having a mint tea from fresh mint from my garden. What are you guys having? Comment down below and let's see. Okay, well, let's get started. Chapter number 1, defining success. So as usual, we're gonna start by breaking things down, creating a very, very easy guide for you to follow during this video to ensure that you're actually entering the most successful decade of your life. Chapter number 1 has everything to do with defining success. What does success look like for you? Our parents, friends, social media have definitions of success, but here I want you to really dig deep and figure out what makes you feel successful. Success can be broken down into 2 main categories. The first one being the traditional routes to success, and then the second one being more personal success. Traditional success would be anything to do with career, work, school, how you make your bank. And the other side of success would be your hobbies, relationships, things that just make you happy and bring success into your life in that aspect of it. Because remember, everything has to do with balance. So we need to have these 2 things being balanced in order to actually truly be completely successful. All right, so now you're gonna take a few minutes and do a little bit of reflection of what the most successful version of you looks like. How do they feel? Think about it. Is there a certain position at a company that you want to be in? Is there a certain degree that you want to pursue? Maybe you want to do your PhD. Is there a professional designation that you're looking to complete? And yes, you can link this back to your vision board and your higher self script. These are 2 fabulous resources that will be able to help you kind of tie everything into a bow, but this is just very, very specific in terms of your career, your work, your school, and really getting you through that traditional bucket of success. Basically, this is the video that's going to help you get your together. Think about what your dream successful self is doing. Now, this is really important for those of us that grew up in households where our parents impose what success should look like for us. I really want you to dig deep into it and understand what success looks like for you. Please think about this in an aspect of what truly makes you feel successful. What is it that you'll wake up and you'll want to go to work? You'll want to make bank. You'll want to do the things that you're investing your life in, because I think at the end of the day, we have to recognize that a job, a career, and what we want to do takes up so much of our time. You work at minimum 8 hours a day for a company. So ensure that, it is something that you truly want to do. And so I really want you during this section to reflect on what success looks like to you. Chapter number 2, finding your why. As you enter your most successful era, I want you to understand what your whys are. And these are basically the reasons why you are working towards these big goals you have for yourself. It's so important to do this because during moments when you're not going to feel like you want to work hard towards those goals, these whys are really going to propel you and push you forward to continue working on your goals. So we got to define that now, from the starting point, so that we're able to continue moving forward even on the bad days. So your why is going to have everything to do with the word because. Here's your template. I want to be a blank, comma, because, and fill in the blank. You have to be very clear on what you want and why you want it. So I'll give you an example. I want to be an entrepreneur because it'll give me liberty over my time, and thus I can cater it to a schedule that I feel is more suitable for me in accordance with how I work as a person. Or I want to be a wealth manager because I want to make bank. Be honest with yourself here, okay? If it is because you want to make money, say that. Money leads to financial freedom, and financial freedom can bring a lot of things for you, so it's totally understandable. Understand that this is for you to recognize your why, thus propelling you forward when you have days where you don't want to work towards your goals or your dream successful self. All right, so now that you've determined what your goal is and your because, I want you to write this down in an area where you're able to see it. If you spend a lot of time working at your desk, maybe a home office, maybe an in-office situation, or even just when you're studying, write it somewhere. Write it somewhere where you're able to see it. Now you could do this on your phone and have it kind of in a notes app, or you know what, put it on a Post-it note in the middle of your wall so you can remember why you're working so hard towards your dreams. Chapter number 3, assessing your starting point. When we start anything, we have to assess what our starting point is right now. So if I say I want to be a scientist, well, I got to figure out if I actually have the prerequisites to join a program to then become a scientist, right? So right now we're going to get clarity on our starting situation, and therefore we can cater a plan to become successful. For those of you that have been in a business class or have been to business school, you'll know about this one very well. The SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now, this tool is used by businesses, organizations, consultants to basically assess the position of maybe a new product, a new launch, etc. So because we are launching ourselves into the new successful era, we are going to use this tool and make it a personal SWOT. I actually learned the SWOT analysis by reading this book right here called The Success Code by Amanda D. Winter. And it's actually one of those like swear on my grave books for me, because it's genuinely so incredibly good at explaining success, explaining how to define it, the SWOT analysis, and just letting you know how to enter the most successful era of your life. So if you're interested in this book, it will be linked in the description box down below. All right, so what I want you to do is to get a piece of paper and break it down into 4 categories. We're gonna have our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities, and our threats. Our strengths and weaknesses are internally driven, meaning they have everything to do with who we are as people. Our opportunities and threats are basically external factors that influence us. So we'll start with the first one, your strengths. So these are your natural abilities. What are you just genuinely good at? Are you maybe a good public speaker? Do you have good creativity skills? Are you an organized individual? Think about the things that you just present really well as, and you're able to do with little to no effort. Moving on to your weaknesses. These are things that don't come easy. So you might struggle at doing this, or these might be things that you just don't enjoy. Maybe it's a lack of concentration, perhaps lower attention to detail, maybe having too much perfectionism. Think about things that you just have weaknesses in, and this is really gonna help us when we link these 2 things together and transform our weaknesses into strengths. Moving on to the opportunities. So these are things in your external environment that will be able to help you maybe choose something different for yourself, or really capitalize on those strengths by using opportunities. Perhaps if you're looking for a master's program or looking to get into university, the area you live in might be an opportunity for you if you live by many different colleges and universities. Perhaps you have great friends, a good support system, and mentors that can help you with the new step of your life. Perhaps you have savings and you're able to invest that in your new small business. Moving on to your threats. These are external things in your environment that place a big challenge on you in terms of becoming successful. This might be a financial constraint. Perhaps you have a long commute to school or work. Perhaps you don't have access to a vehicle. You're going to look at each of these categories and you're going to ask yourself the following questions. How can I capitalize on my strengths? How can I turn my opportunities into reality? How can I transform my weaknesses into strengths? And how can I mitigate my threats? So for instance, if you've put one of your threats as being like a financial constraint, what you might want to do is reassess your spending habits and see if there's some money that you can save rather than spend to help invest in the future version of yourself. In terms of an opportunity, perhaps you're trying to write a book and you have a really great network of other authors that have recently been published. Maybe what you could do is network with them and figure out what your plan could be to then become a published author. An example of a weakness turned into a strength. Perhaps you care a lot about what other people think about you. It's time to shift your mindset to stop thinking about what other people think about you, because at the end of the day, all that matters is what you think about you. Now you can work towards shifting that mindset and entering the most successful era of your life. Now that we've defined success, determined our why, and analyzed our starting point, we're going to move on to chapter number 4, and that is setting small goals to achieve our big, beautiful goal. Now, there are 3 types of goals when it comes to goal setting. We have comfort zone goals, chaos goals, and potential goals. Think about this from a scale of 0 to 100. 0 would be our comfort goals. So these are kind of small goals that we're really comfortable with doing. It doesn't really require a lot of effort or stepping out of the box to do. Then on the very other side of the spectrum, we have our chaos goals. And these are really big goals. So like for instance, I want to complete a degree. I want to be a marketing manager. I want to start a new business. Those are chaos goals. They're very big goals that are very overwhelming when we look at them from that perspective. And then here's the beauty of it. In between your 0 to 100 is the potential zone. How beautiful is that? You have 0, which is comfort. You have 100, which is chaos. But now from 1 to 99 is potential. What you're gonna do to get you into the routine of finally achieving those goals you have that are more big and chaotic is to tap into your potential zone. So what we're gonna do is first start off by setting comfort goals. And these are little mini wins. It's gonna get you kind of in the routine of having wins. And when you have wins, you're able to be a little bit more motivated, more confident, etc., and then present as your better self. Here's an example. If you want to start a business, let's say a jewelry business, what you're going to do in terms of comfort goals is sit and kind of determine what it is you want your business to be. Ask yourself very small questions in terms of what you want it to be like. And maybe one step that you can do in terms of a potential goal is set up a free website. So you're giving it kind of a shot and thus entering your potential zone. And over time, as you set goals like this, where they're small goals and they're building over time into the potential zone, you'll see yourself transform into your chaos goal or your big goal at the end of the day, which will lead you to success. Remember that success comes with little goals. Break down big goals into small, manageable goals and work towards those. Have the little wins. You need to have little wins to build confidence, to build some sort of stamina and momentum in yourself, and thus allow you to grow and become successful. It takes time. It takes hard work. And yes, there are going to be days where you're going to wake up and not want to do it. Trust me, I have days like that all the time. I wake up and I'm like, oh, I have to film a YouTube video today. And I get stressed about it and tired, but I'm human. We're all going to go through things like that. But remember your why. Remember why you are doing this. Remember what makes you wake up every day and why it's important to you. Remember that you're worth it and you have dreams and goals and things you want to accomplish, which you're so deserving of. And that's what's going to make the difference and help you get through it. For those of you that are really struggling right now with your life and the way that it's looking like, I want to reassure you, you have all the power to change it today. You can make one change in your life today that will transform your entire life and allow you to be successful in the things that you define to be success for you. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take dedication. It's going to take legwork. But I promise you, once you get your leg up and you start working hard and you start driving yourself to achieve these new heights and you accomplish these micro goals, you'll get there. And then you'll look back at yourself and be so incredibly proud of how much work and dedication you put into yourself. And remember, the future version of yourself is cheering for you. They want you to succeed. They want you to do well. So do that for them. Remember all the times you did succeed. When you passed your driver's test. When you finally broke up with that guy that you thought you never would. When you graduated high school. When you landed your first job interview. You did all those things. And you can do more. All right, so that is all for our video today on entering your most successful era. I hope this video was helpful and gave you a very clear guide on how to achieve success and become the most successful version of yourself. I believe in you, I know you can do it, and I'll see you next time.